Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic and Bike, the premier business radio program around. I'm your host, Mike King. I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here are mine, have no connection to, support, of agreement with any other host, information, ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs there on a daily basis. So join me as our cutting edge show. We uplift the community and showcase RVA in a different way. So you can follow me on social platforms at hashtag On the Mic with Mike RVA, as well as Mike King Biz. Alrighty, you know time it is. It is Friday. We are kicking it off, and we got a good friend from Bryant Stratton in the house. So Bryant Stratton, I always say it is the premier institution of higher learning in Chesterfield. Today we're talking about something that's near and dear to me, the medical field, medical assistant, as to be more specific. So, ma'am, welcome to the program, and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Terry Harris, and I'm the program director over here at Bryant Stratton over the medical assisting program. And thank you for having me today.
All righty. So let folks know where in the order what medical assistants do.
Well, there's a great misconception of what medical assistants actually are. It's funny because a lot of people don't even know what we do. So if you think about the last time you went to a doctor's office, everything that you see going on in that office that the doctor is not doing, a medical assistant is trained to do. So we're different where we can do everything from administrative skills. So from when you call in to schedule your appointment, to taking your co-pays when you come in, and then we do clinical skills as well. So we're the ones that take you into the back office, take your medical history, explain treatment procedures. We assist the physician with exams, draw your blood, give injections. And then from there, we can take you to check you out, and then take your appointment and send it for billing and coding as well. So we do everything.
You know what, and that is true. That medical assistants are kind of like the backbone of the office and the operation. They fill in a lot of places. And as I said, we spoke before, as a medical corpsman, as a medic in the Army, that's the position a lot of times that we did. A lot of those things you're able to fill in and keep the operation running. How's the program changed since COVID? The field for medical assistant, has there been any change to it really?
Oh, there have been huge changes. The demand has increased significantly. And I think what has mainly changed is there's a lot of crossover of skills from a nurse to a medical assistant. So yes, we give injections, so we draw blood. And as nurses were on the front line in the hospitals, it was the medical assistants that were manning those outpatient clinics, because that is predominantly where we work. So we work in those outpatient centers, those medical offices. So the goal is to keep patients out of a hospital. So those outpatient clinics are where you're going to come in contact with a medical assistant. So many times if you had your nose jabbed with one of those swabs for COVID, that was probably a medical assistant. And we're the ones that are processing those specimens and getting them out to those labs and calling you back with those lab results. So, we man the front lines in the outpatient setting. And our roles have really expanded, especially with the expansion into telehealth. So, many times it's the medical assistant that starts that telehealth appointment for you now. There's just been a greater demand for skills on us as medical assistants. And it's going to be something that's continuing to grow.
One of the things here that when you speak about the telehealth, we really didn't believe it as much before the pandemic showed up. But what it did, I've spoken to a number of people, it cut down it relieved a lot of barriers from people getting help. Because
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, distance wasn't an issue anymore. The logistics of getting to the office, and now we sort of believe that works.
Oh, absolutely. There are some simple things that we can do a telehealth visit for. Let's say we put you on a new medication, and instead of having to drive to an office for that 5-minute follow-up, when you go in the exam room, you sit there for 5 seconds and then the doctor's finished with you and you're like, I sat in traffic, I had to get off work, And I came over here for 5 minutes. I sat in the waiting room longer than I, you
That's
know,
true.
that I saw the doctor. Now those appointments can be done by telehealth. So not only is it a time saver for our patients, it also allows us in the office to be able to come in contact and see more patients on a daily basis when we're doing telehealth visits. We can do them after hours, we can do them on the weekends. So it gives you actually greater contact with your practitioner now that we have telehealth.
One of the things, so it's Mike King, Terry Ellis is here with us. She is from Bryant Stratton. So I miss coming to the campus today. It's always a lot of energy there. I mean, I love when I come there and you see the students coming in. Bryant Stratton attracts students from all walks and ranges of ages and their life experiences. Let's talk about what's happened with medical assisting. I know it's exploded. Let's talk about what it means when people come in and all of a sudden you're working with them. They're kind of nervous in the beginning, and all of a sudden you see the light go off, and when they start to get it.
Oh, it is amazing. So we just started our fall semester here, and we are bursting at the seams. We have over 700 students
Wow.
here yeah, it is like it's like a airport here. It is so many people here. And I mean, our growth has, increased. I've had to double up on some of my new classes because we have so many students here. But I think it is amazing. I think this is what I love, why I love what I do. And I've been teaching now for 18 years. But to see a student come into that first class and they're nervous. So one of the first courses they're going to be in is like medical terminology. That's learning the language of medicine. And they're nervous and they're like, I'm not sure if this is what I want to do. And I'm kind of scared of blood and I'm scared of needles, and they're coming in early on, and I place students out in clinicals. So I go out and see the students in clinicals. So to see them transform from being scared to death in that first class to now I can go out into some of our local, physicians' offices, and I see them in that back office and that they're working like they've been there for years. And, I hear them speaking the language that they were so scared of when they first came here. And that's a proud mama moment for me, and just to know that we are putting out well-trained, qualified health professionals right here in our community. I mean, I go to the doctor right around here, and there's nothing that makes me more proud to see our graduates out there in the clinical setting just killing it. I mean, they're just, they're speaking the language, they're taking care of patients, giving top-notch care. That reminds me why I do what I do.
One of my Terry Ellis is here, Bryant Stratton. They are over there killing it for sure. All righty, so when I'm on campus, talk about the students, the courses are hard, but they say, boy, you guys get them ready for the testing. Now, when you hear Bryant Stratton throwing around numbers like it's 100%, like everybody who takes the test, are passing it. Then when you talk to the students like, hey, we checked on them before I came here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the word on the street was they get you ready to pass. So when you're out there, what's the feedback when the students go and they intern, what do they say when they come back to you? What do they say? Oh, they're like, yo, we're not shocked. We were ready when we went there.
Absolutely. So I'll take my last group, for example. So we had 100% pass rate on the exam.
100.
The national 100, every last one of them passed. And this is where a national pass rate average on that same exam is about 62%. So, oh yeah, we're doing it big over here. So, and here's what's funny. So I can ask the students after they take their certifying exam, I'm like, so was there anything on there you were concerned about? Anything that you just didn't know? And the consensus is, oh, no, everything on that exam, we saw it, we learned it. And they felt comfortable going in, which is, I think, why we have the pass rates that we do. And then when we send them out into the community, I mean, I have practice managers call me all the time, saying, hey, do you have any graduates? So we know we're putting out quality people out here in the community, and our practitioners and our practice managers, hey, they call us and ask for people. I just can't produce them fast enough.
Yeah, I know that's when that it's a success, when you're like, people are looking for you to produce more. because of the quality of students that you guys put out there. How can people find you, Bryant Stratton, out there right now, if they're thinking about the program?
Well, the best thing to do is stop by the campus over here, 8141 Hull Street. Stop by, speak to an admissions rep. We will give you a tour of the campus. You can come right in our medical assisting lab. You will see the classroom spaces. You'll see a lot of the equipment we have in the lab is the same thing that we have out in the medical offices. So we're going to get you trained on what's most current that you're going to see out there in your medical clinics. I mean, we want you to be able to use it here. So when you go out there, you're not shocked, you're not surprised, you know how to use the equipment as well. So you'll do a full tour of the campus. If you want to talk to me, I'm always here. I'm here 5 days a week. An admissions rep will set you up to have a meeting with me. Ask any questions. Sometimes you will have students here on campus. Students are always open to talk to possible applicants, but admissions is probably going to be your first place you want to stop by.
One of the things that we always talk about is the culture of Bryant Stratton. There's a lot of fires people have going on in their life, a lot of things that are happening. Bryant Stratton is in the business of yes and getting students to graduation. And everyone we talked to Ray from the beginnings at admissions to career services, all of a sudden people start looking at saying, okay, wow, this is something right here. You're getting people ready. So then when they go out into the world, they're ready.
Absolutely. And you know what, once you graduate from Bryant Stratton, I mean, you're always part of our family. We have students that have graduated from years ago that will still call and say, hey, I need my resume updated. And, career services will update their resume for them. And students that graduate and they work for a while and they come back and go into other programs as well. We have some students that are 2 and 3 time graduates of Bryant Stratton College. So, this is continued learning over here.
One of the great things about it was back in, I hate to sound like the old man, but back in the day, people started getting ready for the jobs that when they were juniors and seniors in college, that way. But when I came to Bryant Stratton, they're like, hey, we start right from the get-go. What are we doing here to help you with career services and all those things so that when you get to graduation day, you're not looking up saying, I wonder what I'm going to do now.
Absolutely. I always tell my graduates that if you're not working in this field, it's because you choose not to. That there's no other way. I mean, we are in high demand, and that is for all of our programs. So, I mean, in many cases, and I'll just use like my last group for an example. I have students that went out to clinicals, so they're still students. They were hired by their extern site. So they're finishing school and they have a job
already,
right when they're walking out the door. So that is a great opportunity that our clinicals and our internships provide for these students as well.
All right, let's talk about the logistics of it. I get to the admissions, I come already how the next group starts up in January, correct?
Yes, we start in January, absolutely.
And how long is the program?
The program, if you are coming in with absolutely no transfer credits, you can do it in as short as 4 semesters. On average, most of our students take 2 years. Now, this is an associate's degree. So you're not getting a little fly-by-night certificate. You are getting a degree when you graduate from this program.
Medical, okay, so that is 4 semesters, 2 years. Now, person's out in the workforce. When you look at the workforce now for medical assisting, how different is it from years ago? And it's funny, we don't even have to talk about years ago, pre-pandemic.
It's the growth. The growth is out of this world. And here's what's interesting. So, when we talk about healthcare, people tend to think doctors and nurses.
Right.
There are so many other allied health professionals and other fields out there. In all actuality, according to the U.S. Bureau of Statistics, medical assisting job growth is actually outpacing nursing by about 10%. So nursing is about 6%, projected growth. Medical assisting is 16.
Do you think that's because you can get done faster and get out into the workforce?
And not only that, it is because if you think about healthcare and where healthcare is going, the goal is to keep people out of a hospital bed.
You don't get well in the hospital. Having worked at many, no, you don't get well in the hospital. The best bet is to try and get home.
Absolutely. So it's preventative care. And where does preventative care occur? It's out in your doctor's offices, and that is where we work.
Let's talk about home health care. Let's do what part do nursing assistants play in that? I know sometimes there's home health attendants. There's a number of different things. Is that an area where nursing assistants operate as far as going out helping people in their homes?
Well, nursing assistant is different than medical assistant. So
Okay,
nursing
so what?
assistant.
Thank you very much. Okay, so here, school's in session. But let's talk about it. What exactly is the difference?
So a nursing assistant deals with direct patient care. So assisting with their, activities of daily living. And we do that in the home. Where medical assistants, we deal with more assisting the physician in the clinic. So we do not do direct bedside patient care. I always say our patients walk in and wheel in, and then they walk out and wheel out at the end of the day.
I didn't know. You know what? I never heard it put that way before.
Well, because I think when you say assistant, a lot of people get those confused with nursing assistant and medical assistant. So I've heard students say, "Oh, I don't want to be a medical assistant. I don't want to take care of patients in people's homes." I'm like, no, that's a different field. That's a nursing assistant. So very different than what we do.
Alrighty, so the classes start up in January. What does a person need to do? A person sitting at home contemplating their future. And like you said, Bryant Stratton goes out of the way. There's all type of, you guys have students who were in the, 1920, and then there's students who are in their 40s and 50s. And you find a way to accommodate people where they are. So I'm sitting at home right now, I'm thinking about, hey, I want to do something. Plus, you guys got those really slick commercials. Those commercials are good.
I'm like, they're all snazzy. I'm like, whoa, we do some really good commercials.
Every time I look at them, I'm like, oh boy, Bryant Stratton, that does look good. They got all the stuff going on. And
yep.
Alrighty, so what does the person need to do? You say contact admissions, come into the campus.
So the winter semester starts up, our first day class is going to be January 11th. So even though we just started, I can guarantee you admissions is already starting to talk to people for the next start. So because there's a process. So first and foremost, you do want to contact Bryant Stratton, come in and speak to one of our admissions rep, come and get that tour so you can kind of see everything that we have to offer. They will speak to you about what your goals are. So you can choose the best program for you. You can then meet with admission or financial advisors as well. So you can get that financial aid, package together. So you'll be set and ready to go in January, and do it now, because you're not going to do it during the holidays.
You're not going to do it. And one of the things I really want to touch on when you talk about the financial aid piece, you guys are really good at helping people, because that's one, the admissions part is okay, can I get in? Find them in. Now all of a sudden, everybody talking about that money part. We're like, oh Lord.
Right. It's how are you going to pay for it?
And then you guys admission, so we talk to them, and then we get to the financial aid piece. And so, you guys are great at helping people understand that and the possibilities and all the avenues. Plus, you guys, when I talked to you guys before, the number of direct help that Bryant Stratton offers is outrageous as well.
It is. And like I said, I've worked in this field for over 18 years. And I will say the services that Bryant Stratton offer to our students is unmatched. It's like nothing I've ever seen. You're not going to call and just talk to a recording. You get to learn people's names. If you show up and you ask any simple question, there's going to be someone we will find the person to help you.
All righty. Oh, that's right, Terry Ellis is here. We'd like to thank you for coming on. How can people find you one last time?
Well, stop by the campus. We're at 8141 Hull Street Road. You can stop by and give us a call. You can ask to speak to me directly. I'm the program director, Terry Harris. But our admissions department, they will definitely answer any question that you have. They are well versed in every single program that we offer here.
Righty, man, we'd like to thank you. So anything that we can do but to get the word out, Bryant Stratton is an outstanding organization right there. The work that they do in the community as well. You see Beth Murphy everywhere, and that's establishing relationships so that when you guys have a need, interns, what does that mean? There's places for you guys to go, and the intern to say in Bryant Stratton are putting out some quality students. So we'd like to thank you for coming on the program. On the mic to Mike. the best business radio program around. Why? Because we talk to the best guests, Bryant Stratton being one of them. So kick off the week, early in the week, we get things done. Friday happens. You can check us out 5 a.m. To 7 a.m. every day on the Mic with Mike. We'd like to thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Have a good one now.
You
Bye-bye.
too.